You. Good morning, America and the rest of the world. Xander J. Hobson here, stand-up comedian, entertainer, director, and producer of boxing documentaries and internet troll to those who need internet trolling. This is another episode of Hell for Leather News, brought to you by the Brilliant Artist Movement. We're trying to build a platform, so please subscribe, like this video, hate this video, share it. I can't stress sharing it because that's how it gets out. Please share it. And leave a comment in the comment section. It could be something nice. It could be something nasty. But you already know. You throw some nasty shit downrange at me, I'm going to fire right back at you. It's like when I'm on stage dealing with the hecklers.
Yo! Knock it the fuck off!
So if I can deal with hecklers while I'm on stage, you know I could deal with some hecklers out in the YouTube airways. So anyway, what I figured I would do, I've been on YouTube making my mark. I'm up from 220 subs from when I initially started trolling Kevin Samuels. I'm up to 620 something subs. Getting close to tripling the old sub count. I'm getting there. But the purpose of this video is to acknowledge the other YouTubers in and around Philly who are doing it, and they're letting them have it. And they are all an inspiration to me in some way, shape, or form, if it's no more than motivation. Now, at the top of that YouTube list is Dr. Umar Johnson. Now, as you all know, I am a staunch Umar Johnson supporter. You guys can't tell me anything bad about this man. Once again, it would take federal indictments to bring down Umar Johnson before you get Xander Hobson to say anything negative about this man. Umar Johnson, a school principal and an advocate for Pan-Africanism as well as young black children in the Philadelphia public school system who are being labeled retarded. I know that word retarded isn't used no more, but I'm old school. And we call special education motherfuckers retarded. We would say you are in RE, or retarded education. So, for my own sanity, Dr. Umar Johnson is an advocate for retarded motherfuckers. He has a school that he bought that's down there in Wilmington, Delaware. He has the 2 buildings. And although people are claiming that Umar Johnson has been pilfering money and not doing what he's supposed to do with the donations, the man has a school, and I'm happy with that. Now, most recently we had a video of Umar Johnson gambling. He was gambling. He was at the casino gambling. And of course, people had some slick things to say about that. Well, my defense of Umar Johnson is Umar Johnson was at the casino trying to get the money for the school. Okay? We all play numbers from time to time. And when we play these numbers, it is our hopes and our aspirations to strike it rich. So who is Umar Johnson not to try to strike it rich at the casino? I'm certain that Umar Johnson plays both the Powerball and the Mega Million, trying to win so that he can build that school, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. So that's my take on Umar. The next man up, I've been going by sub count. The next man up in the Philadelphia YouTube scene is a guy who I just recently discovered within the past 30 to 60 days. A fellow by the name of Monty Cocaine Woodgrain. And Monty Woodgrain, he's becoming one of my favorite YouTubers. I like this man. I was watching him yesterday while I played solitary, and I was listening to some of the opinions and points of views of Monty Woodgrain, and I have to say I like this man. Like myself, Monty Woodgrain is somewhat hard on Kevin Samuels because Kevin Samuels has a harsh view of women, and guys like Monty Woodgrain and myself, we tend to look askance on fellas who don't like women. I mean, I just don't understand it. And as I was listening to Monty Woodgrain, he was playing back a tape with Kevin Samuels talking about how ugly black women is. And the fella says, well, what do you rate yourself, Kevin? And Kevin rated himself a 9. Fucking 9, really, Kevin? I didn't even know men rated themselves, to be totally honest. Like you take myself. I know I'm a good looking guy and I'm gonna get the chicks that I get. The end. But all that rating myself, I don't know. But if I were to rate myself, I would rate myself as a goddamn king, an emperor, a monarch. That's what I rate myself. But again, I don't waste my time with that. But again, Montague Woodgrain is a very accomplished YouTuber. He has something like 24,000 subs. The last I heard, Montague Woodgrain was closing in on Tommy Sotomayor. So yes, Monty Woodgrain is another top YouTuber out of my hometown of Philadelphia. The next man up, who I think a lot of, is my main man, Pots and Pans, Obsidian Momia. And although Obsidian Momia is a manosphere red pill guy, I like this man because I seen the twinkle in this man's eye when he was on the internet trolling and harassing people. And I like Obsidian. Obsidian's a good guy. Again, it's like, you know, we're on different sides of the aisle when it comes to women and the manosphere and all of that stuff. But I like this man. He's a good dude. Obsidian Momia, a fella with close to 17,000 sub counts. And again, staunch Kevin Samuels supporter, staunch red pill guy. Obsidian, the man that says, let the black race crash and burn. And sadly, with all of this madness that's going on in the community, I'm starting to believe some of the things that Obsidian leans toward. Sometimes the truth is an ugly one, and we don't want to hear it, but what the hell? It is what it is. Obsidian, the number 3 man on the Philadelphia YouTube list. The next man up is a guy who is a close and personal friend of mine. A gentleman by the name of George Macon. George Macon, the guy who made the transition from hellion to community activist. I watched George Macon go through a metamorphosis of being a hellraiser to being the stand-up guy that he is now, who wants to save his community. If you were to ask me, it was like George Macon caught the Holy Spirit, and he's completely reformed himself, and he's going on to live a finer, better life, and he's going to set a good example for those around him. Great guy, George Macon. George Macon has maybe like about 4,400 subs. Well, folks, the last man that I know of on this Philadelphia YouTube tree, this guy is at the bottom of the barrel. He's trolling and he's moving around in the Chitlin circuit of the YouTube airwaves, but nevertheless, he packs a good message. This fella is a stand-up comedian, entertainer, director and producer of boxing documentaries, and an internet troll to those who need internet trolling. This fella is Xander J. Hobson. Now, my name might come up as Joel Hobson on all my videos because my name is, in fact, Joel Alexander Hobson. But once I started getting on stage and performing, I figured I need a really cool name to perform for you people. And although Joel Hobson is a dignified name, it's the name of a lawyer or a doctor. Joe Hobson. That's the name of a trucker or a carpenter, something I was. And Chuck is the name of a street guy. A street guy. They called me Chuck Huckabuck because I didn't give a fuck. That's what they called me when I was out in these streets. But I didn't want to go by Chuck Hobson on stage. So the middle name is Alexander, and I didn't want to be an Alexander on the stage. That's just not something I want to do. there was already one great Alexander that I know of, and that was Alexander the Great, and I didn't want to identify with him. So what I did, I decided to use the name Xander, the name of my older brother, or the name that my older brother Alexander uses, Xander. Figured I'd be Xander. So yes, Xander J. Hobson, folks. YouTuber out of Philadelphia, nipping on the heels of my good friend George Macon, fellow YouTuber. And that is the lineup, folks. The Philadelphia lineup. And again, I'll sum it up from the top. The great Umar Johnson, founder of the Marcus Garvey Academy, school principal, Pan-Africanist. Monty Woodgrain, my fellow Philadelphian and my fellow comedian. Monty Woodgrain, a fellow with a bunch of videos. Monty Woodgrain, a guy who's at odds with Umar Johnson, and hopefully that was just all talk, because I don't want black men fighting with each other, especially black YouTubers who create content. There's already enough beefing going on with black men. We don't need black men rolling up on each other with guns. So hopefully those two guys will knock that the fuck off. Obsidian Mumia. Obsidian, a dignified fellow, the man with the air of a staunch right-wing Republican. I wouldn't be surprised if Obsidian was somehow related to Judge Clarence Thomas. Not that I think that Obsidian is a chime or anything like that, but Obsidian has the air of a really right-wing conservative guy. And of course, there's my main man, George Macon, TJ. That's what I actually know this man by, not George Macon, but TJ. And last but not least, yours truly. So with that said, folks, that was the lineup of Philadelphia YouTubers. If there's anybody else out there who is a Philadelphia YouTuber, please reach out to Xander J. Hobson, and so I'll know, so I can holler at you. Maybe we can get together and collaborate. And as I close, I would like to collaborate with Umar Johnson, Monty Woodgrain, Obsidian, and George Macon somewhere in the near future. Maybe we can get on here and, you know, we can all have a dignified conversation, even if we disagree with each other. I'm done with it. Bam!